Ann Coulter. Oh, hi America, how are you? Welcome to the Economics Roundtable. I'm Brian Walsh.
I'm Alexandra Hamilton.
And I'm the Colonel.
Today's special, we're going to go around the table and figure out what the big stories in economics were this year. So Alexandra, what was the big story in your mind that captivated you this year?
On October 19, 2008, gas prices skyrocketed to $10 a gallon. In the first week or so, citizens were paying these unreasonable prices because they had no other alternative. But now, since it's been a year, the public has found various ways to cope with these prices. Citizens have started using public transportation, people are using carpools to get to work, they're buying Priuses to drive these carpools, and even in some extreme cases, they're switching to biodiesel. Since there has been such a decrease in demand for cars with low gas mileage and gas, producers are really doing their best to adjust to these changes. Because the gas prices have been so high for so long, almost a year now, car companies are reallocating their resources to make cars greener and get higher gas mileage. Chevy, for example, has recently released a car that gets 65 miles to the gallon.
Wow.
And next year they're planning to release the first ever mass-produced minivan that runs off of hydrogen. As producers have responded to the increase in demand, they have been producing more and more green vehicles, giving the consumers more options and driving down the prices. Almost all the companies are producing these cars, which adds to the competition to have the lowest prices. And that's the story, Brian, that struck my interest the most this year.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. This is actually one of the first times gas has proven to be elastic and not so much of a necessity, as we do see more and more alternative fuel options. And I think the automotive industry, as well as the consumer, will benefit greatly from the lack of dependence on gasoline.
Well, thanks, Alex. And now, Colonel, what was the big story that impacted you this year?
Well, Brian, this year was a very up and down year for Dew Corp. Most famous for their Mountain Dew soft drink, the corporation had a very strong following in the Southeast. Nearly everyone south of the Carolinas purchased Mountain Dew and other Dew Corp products. At the beginning of the year, a large population of the Southeast was also employed by Verizon. Because of a successful advertising campaign, Verizon had their biggest year for profit in 50 years. Because of the increased profit, Verizon increased income for all of its employees by 10%. Everyone was obviously thrilled by the pay increase, and with the increase, the demand for Dew went way up. As the people of the Bible Belt ingested more and more Dew, many children began to develop Dew mouth. This nearly killed Dew Corp, as everyone was horrified by the effects of Dew mouth and refused to purchase the product. This could have been the end for Dew Corp if it were not for the increased number of employees for Verizon. Because of the increase of profit, not only did it allow Verizon to increase the pay of all of its workers, it also attracted more people to move to the South to work for Verizon because of the attractive starting salary. These new employees were not aware of the effects of Dew mouth and began heavily investing in Dew Corp and its products. Brian, this is the big story for me this year. Obviously, Dew had a lot of impact on its consumers. What's your take on the situation?
Well, Mike, Verizon can't keep up paying workers because they wouldn't have a successful year as they had in years past. Therefore, as the newer employees start realizing the effects of Dew mouth, the entire Bible Belt will hopefully realize that this is a problem and search for a more cost-effective and healthier alternative.
Good point, Brian. And now I know all of us are very interested in what was your big story in the economics world for 2009?
Well, Mike, now we go to a story that has broken the hearts of many Americans. The cheesecake era is now over. Within the past year, a boom occurred in the cheesecake world. Cheesecake factories around the country have benefited significantly from their cheesecakes, causing a high demand for the dessert around the country. Many other cheesecake producers decided to follow suit and made massive numbers of the cakes, which created an increased industry of cheesecakes around the nation. But the cheesecake industry took a giant hit last week when the Ann Coulter of the environment, Shannon Reimers, continued her plan of killing the cows who better the environment, which halted and stopped the production of cheese, a main ingredient in the delectable cake. This in turn lowered the supply of the cheesecake and has led to the emergence of the pineapple upside-down cake because of its low price. Producers now have reallocated their supplies to the pineapple's upside-down cake and have effectively killed the cheesecake industry. So Alex, how do you feel about the death of the cheesecake industry? I know I've taken it a little hard because I love cheesecake, but how have you taken it?
Well, you know, Brian, for however ridiculous, I mean, I mourn the loss of the cheesecake industry too, but I think I actually appreciate the effects that Shannon Reimers has caused, because cows are just giving so many bad environmental effects, and personally, I'm enjoying the new the new surge in the pineapple upside down cake industry. I think it's a lot healthier of an option, and it's better for the consumers because they're able to pay such a lower price, and it's better for our health too because now instead of breathing in so much methane, we get to breathe in fresh air with the loss of the cows.
I don't understand how you agree with this evil dictator shouting remix, but you know, that's your opinion. Well, that wraps up for our edition of Economics Roundtable. For the Colonel and for Alex, I'm Brian Walsh, and hopefully you can join us next time.